watched a movie last night. Opus is about a rookie journalist who gets invited to an exclusive listening party from a legendary pop star who has secretly come out of retirement. Her manager, or her boss, also gets invited to this exclusive listening party, and he expects her to do all the research, take all the notes, and then he's going to write this big fancy article. So the huge pop star called Moretti, think Michael Jackson if he hadn't died but just retired and now he's back to release an album. He is hosting this huge listening party on his commune in the middle of nowhere, and he invites Ayo, he invites Ayo's manager, he invites a pop star, he invites an old friend, he invites a paparazzi, and he invites a influencer, and they have all of this like luxury food and wait staff to wait on their foot and kiss their legs and all that good stuff. But anyway, and he's like having a blast, having people admire him. Although Ariel is a fan of Moretti, she's not a stan. So she knows the music, she listens to the music, but she's not crazy about the music. She knows like the trivia about this guy, but she's not like bleeding, Moretti's music. So she's very interested in the technicalities of like, why do you live on a commune? Why are all these people dressed in denim? She's asking Moretti all of these questions, and she's constantly contradicting him when he answers. And so she is very on the outside, and she's very intuitive to that, like, hey, this doesn't seem right. Meanwhile, everybody else who rode in there with her for the listening party is just like, oh, isn't this fun? Champagne. So as the movie progresses, she's able to talk to some of the people who are working on the commune, and she finds like they're a cult. This is a religious cult, and now she's very interested in writing an article about Moretti's cult instead of writing about Moretti's music. And so she's trying to get some interesting facts to write, and et cetera, et cetera. But meanwhile, the people in her group are going missing one by one, and she's noticing it and nobody else is, because the commune people are like, oh, they just wanted a longer massage, or oh, they'll be right there, they just had to change his clothes, blah blah blah. But Ayo, or Ariel, knows that there's something up, but nobody believes her. So she is left to her own, manners to figure out what's going on, and she wants to escape. This movie was interesting for me. Think The Menu meets Midsummer, but like I'm saying Midsummer generously. It isn't an original idea. I feel like most cult movies start with like, oh, we're in the middle of nowhere, turn my phone in. What do you mean I can't have my phone? Blah blah blah. People start going missing one by one. It's not a we're not inventing the wheel here with the cult movies. But the way it makes this different is the twist at the end is interesting. I believe the twist ties in the themes that this movie was going for, like about how people are exploited and how they are they idolize people, and how people don't pay attention to what's right in front of them and the music, etc. So I thought it was an interesting way that this movie twisted, because I was watching it and I was just like, I've seen it before. It's not that interesting until it gets interesting, which was interesting. This story relies on a lot of visual cues, so it's not one of those stories that you can pay attention to half-assed with your phone in your hand. You kind of have to watch the entire movie, because there are going to be little clues and little offhanded jokes that are written like on menus and on walls and etc. that you have to pay attention to. So visually, it was very fun to look at. I really like the chemistry that John Malkovich and Ayo Edebiri had together. They seem like they're really having fun acting with each other. I will say Ayo, and I've noticed this in other productions, she does improvise a lot of her lines, and although sometimes it works and it makes it sound a lot more natural than like reciting off written words, but sometimes also the improv drags on a little bit, because you can see that she's probably like just saying things and stuttering over the line or her words until she finds the joke, and I feel like that slows down a lot of scenes. There's a scene where she's like getting dressed and she's just confused about the situation, and she's just stuttering and stammering. You can just tell it's improv, so it kind of, for me, I just didn't like it and think it was very necessary, and it just made it take too long. Other than that, I thought her acting was great. I really liked the way that she presented this character to us. She was very quirky, very realistic. I liked how she was very like not about that life. Like she wasn't, goo goo gaga, oh my gosh. And then she was disappointed. She was always questioning things. And I thought Ao did a really good job bringing that to her facial acting, like her emotions and her emoting. So I thought that was really great. John Malkovich is an amazing actor already. I feel like this part was written for him because he just looked very effortless in doing this portrayal of this huge mega Michael Jackson type pop star. So the acting and the chemistry is really great in this movie. I don't feel like this movie is going to be for everyone. If you go into this movie thinking cult movie with expectations of like, we figure it out and now we escape, and then that's in the movie, you might be a little disappointed, because I know that I had an expectation of how this movie was going to end. And when it wasn't going my way, I was just like, well, this isn't going my way. But then I was like, calm down, let it play out, and let's see what the writer intended us to see about the story. And then when you find out, you're like, oh, okay. The end does drag on a little bit. It does slow it down and changes the pace of the movie a lot, but it makes sense why it is there. Also, I will say this movie has a lot of music in it. It is not a musical, but obviously, since we're talking about a pop star and he is having a listening party, we are going to have to listen to the music in this movie. So if you aren't really a music lover, you probably won't like this movie either. So yeah, I think this movie will be a cult classic. I didn't hear anybody talk about it. I actually honestly forgot about this movie until I was just randomly scrolling looking for a movie to watch. But I liked it. I feel like people who understood it and people who went in with low expectations of the movie will like it. I feel like this movie might be one of those cult classic movies who only a certain small group of individuals and cinephiles will enjoy. Have you guys seen this movie? What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm excited. I think I need to watch it again though.